Hi, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Storytime Anytime. Today, you are going to meet a brave little mouse. Mabel, her brother Morton, and Mom and Dad live at the Clampton's house. Each night when Mr. and Mrs. Clampton go to bed, the mouse family comes out of their little home to feast on cheese left in the kitchen. Well, Mrs. Clampton is not happy and decides to bring home a farm cat. Let's find out what happens when Mabel comes up with a plan to outsmart Tiger the cat. The Brave Little Mouse. Mabel Mouse and her family lived in a cozy hole in the kitchen of Mr. and Mrs. Clampton. Every night at 10 o'clock, after Mr. and Mrs. Clampton went to bed, Mabel Mouse, her father, her mother, and her brother Morton scampered out of the hole to have their dinner. Mr. and Mrs. Clampton loved cheese almost as much as the mice did, so there were usually several different kinds from which to choose. Mabel's father was especially fond of Swiss, and she loved to watch him pat his fat little belly happily after every few bites. When they finished eating, the mice went back into their hole. Mabel's mother knitted sweaters for them to wear in the winter, with pieces of yarn from Mrs. Clampton's knitting basket. Mabel played chess with her father, and Morton practiced his singing. The evening would end with a lullaby by Morton, who had a lovely voice and soon put them all to sleep. It was a fine life. One evening at 10 o'clock, when the family was preparing to leave for their evening meal, Mabel peeked out of the hole and gave a loud squeak. There, a cat was sitting in front of the mouse hole. He was big, with orange stripes, sharp claws, and bright yellow eyes. Just then, Mrs. Clampton plunked down a bowl and a litter box and said, "Now, Tiger, you come from a farm where you were very good at catching mice. I want you to get rid of every mouse in this house. We're tired of them eating our cheese." "Oh dear," whispered Mabel's mother. "He has to go to sleep sometime," said Mabel's father, looking at his pocket watch. An hour went by, then two, but Tiger was wide awake. At 1 o'clock in the morning, he ate all the food in his bowl, but kept one eye on the hole. By this time, the mice were very hungry indeed. Finally, Tiger yawned and closed one eye. "There," said Mabel's father, "he is going to sleep." But Tiger's other eye stayed open. For 2 whole days and nights, the mice stayed in their hole. They were growing thinner by the hour. Suddenly, Morton had an idea. "I will sing him a lullaby," he squeaked weakly. "That always puts us to sleep." Morton sat near the opening to the mouse hole and sang softly to the cat. Tiger only blinked once or twice at the sound, but he did not close his eyes. "I have an idea," said Father on the 3rd day. "I will hypnotize him." He swung his pocket watch back and forth in front of the hole. Tiger moved his head back and forth, but he did not close his eyes. Mabel was very worried about her family, especially her father. His little round belly was now flat as a pancake, and he sat in a corner and mumbled, "Swiss cheese," over and over. "Doesn't that cat ever play or do anything else?" asked Morton. Suddenly, Mabel had an idea. "Mother," she said, "start wrapping me in your ball of yarn. I am going out there and get rid of that cat." "I will not let you go out there," Mabel's mother squeaked weakly. "Listen," said Mabel, "I am the smallest, so I can hide best in the yarn. If we do not get rid of that cat soon, we will all die." "What are you going to do?" asked her father. But Mabel would not tell them. "Just watch and see," she said, smiling. Mabel's mother started wrapping her in the yarn, round and round, round and round, until you could not see Mabel at all. By this time, the ball of yarn was quite big, and they had to push very hard to get it through the hole. "Wish me luck," whispered Mabel as she rolled out into the room. Tiger stared at the ball of yarn and stuck out his paw hesitantly. The ball started rolling, slowly at first, then faster and faster. Tiger got up and watched. Around the kitchen chair it went, and over went the chair with a bang. Then Tiger began to chase the ball. Around Mrs. Clampton's yarn basket it wound, and over went the basket. Into the pot of ivy it tumbled, and over went Mrs. Clampton's favorite plant. Tiger ran after the rolling ball, but his paws got tangled in the yarn, and he could not get it off. The more he pulled at it, the more things got knocked over. And still, the ball of yarn unwound and unwound until there was almost nothing left of it. All of a sudden, Tiger saw Mabel. He leaped into the air and lunged for the little mouse, but his paw knocked Mrs. Clampton's cookbook off the shelf, and it hit him on the head. Mabel raced into the mouse hole and jumped into her father's arms. "Now just watch," she said. Suddenly, the lights in the kitchen went on, and Mrs. Clampton saw the terrible mess. Tiger was lying on the rug, tangled in yarn and meowing pitifully. "Just look at this room," Mrs. Clampton yelled at Tiger. "How did you get into my yarn? You call yourself a mouser? Back to the farm you go tomorrow. We are better off with the mice. At least they don't make this kind of a mess." The next day, Tiger was gone, and the mice went back to their fine life. "It is good to have Swiss cheese again," said Mabel's father, and he patted his belly. "We owe it all to you, Mabel. You are a brave little mouse." And the whole family nibbled and agreed. Mabel sure is a brave little mouse. Mice are amazing animals. Did you know that a mouse can squeeze through a hole the size of a dime, or even under a door? Mice have collapsible rib cages, so they can flatten their bodies to fit through tiny spaces. If a mouse can fit their heads through a crack, the rest of the body can follow. Mice are good jumpers, climbers, and swimmers. And they like to eat 15 to 20 times a day, which means that a house mouse produces between 40 and 100 droppings every day. So, I think I understand why Mrs. Clampton was not happy about the mouse family. Hopefully, Tiger likes his home on the farm. Speaking about cats,
I bought me a cat pleased me. I fed my cat under yonder tree. Cat goes fiddle-I-fee. I bought me a hen pleased me. I fed my hen under yonder tree. Hen goes chimmy-chuck, cat goes fiddle-I-fee. I bought me a duck and the duck pleased me. I fed my duck under yonder tree. Duck goes quack, quack. Hen goes chimmy-chuck, cat goes fiddle-I-fee. I bought me a goose, the goose pleased me. I fed that goose under yonder tree. Goose goes hissy, hissy. Duck goes quack, quack. Hen goes chimmy-chuck, cat goes fiddle-I-fee. I bought me a sheep, the sheep pleased me. I fed that sheep under yonder tree. The sheep goes baa, baa. Goose goes hissy, hissy. Duck goes quack, quack. Hen goes chimmy-chuck, cat goes fiddle-I-fee. Well, I bought me a pig, that pig pleased me. I fed my pig under yonder tree. Pig goes oink, oink. Sheep goes baa, baa. Goose goes hissy, hissy. Duck goes quack, quack. Hen goes chimmy-chuck, cat goes fiddle-I-fee. Well, then I bought me a cow. The cow pleased me. I fed that cow under, well, that same tree. The cow goes moo, moo. Pig goes oink, oink. Sheep goes baa, baa. Goose goes hissy, hissy. Duck goes quack, quack. Hen goes chimmy-chuck, cat goes fiddle-I-fee. Then I bought me a horse, and the horse pleased me. I fed that horse under yonder tree. The horse goes neigh, neigh. Cow goes moo, moo. Pig goes oink, oink. Sheep goes baa, baa. Goose goes hissy, hissy. Duck goes quack, quack. The hen goes chimmy-chuck, the cat goes fiddle-I-fee. Well, I bought me a dog, the dog pleased me, and I fed that dog under yonder tree. The dog goes bow wow, bow wow. The horse goes neigh, neigh. The cow goes moo, moo. The pig goes oink, oink. The sheep's going baa, baa. The goose goes hissy, hissy. That duck is still quacking. The hen goes chimmy-chuck, cat goes fiddle-I-fee.
Another animal that is quite amazing are ducks. Ducks have waterproof feathers. Even when a duck dives underwater, their downy underlayer of feathers will stay dry. Ducks like to stay with other ducks because they are social animals. And baby ducks, called ducklings, will stay near their mother for protection. Ducks are birds that are closely related to swans and geese. They are also called waterfowl because they like to live near ponds and rivers. They can be found near both freshwater and seawater and can live on every continent except for Antarctica. Ducks are known for their webbed feet, which helps them paddle in the water. Did you know that ducks' feet have no nerves or blood vessels? It's true. So ducks do not feel the cold, which helps them walk in ice and snow. Let's listen to a few fun songs about ducks.
Six little ducks that I once knew. Fat, one skinny, one spare, one's two. But the one little duck with the feather on his back, he led the others with the quack, quack, quack. Quack, 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 quack. He led the others with the quack, quack, quack. Down to the river there
Yes, ducks are quite spectacular creatures. Isn't it fun learning interesting facts about different animals? I sure learned a lot today, and I hope you did too. So, keep reading, listening, learning, and of course, singing. Until next time. This has been brought to you by Twin Sisters Digital Media and Evergreen Podcasts. Be sure to hit subscribe. If your children enjoyed these songs and stories, go to twinsisters.com to find even more ways for them to sing and learn. Be sure to subscribe to our newsletter for our free download of the day giveaways and promotions on exciting new digital learning content like these and much more. And visit our friends at evergreenpodcasts.com. Thank you for joining us at Storytime Anytime.